If you are in your 30s right now and you think Alzheimer's is something you'll worry about when you are old, you're already too late. Because what I learned from Dr. Luisa Nicola on the Diary of CEO just shattered everything I thought I knew about brain health. Alzheimer's doesn't start when you get the diagnosis in your 70s. It starts right now, in your 30s. And here is the terrifying part. 60 million people worldwide have it. 70% of them are women. And it's going to triple by 2050. Here is what nobody tells you. 95% of Alzheimer's cases could have been prevented. This isn't genetic disease for most people, it's a lifestyle disease. And once you get the diagnosis, there is no cure. It's like end-stage cancer. Dr. Nicola is a neuroscientist who spent the last decade studying the brain, and she made something crystal clear. Midlife is the window of opportunity. Your brain fully develops between 25 to 30 years old. After that, if you don't take care of it, you start declining. And there is actual science showing that after age 65, your heart loses its plasticity, so its ability to remodel itself. So if you want to reverse aging in your heart and brain, you have to start before 65. There was this incredible study by Dr. Ben Lavine where they took sedentary 50-year-old men and put them through 4 hours of exercise per week for 2 years. Just 4 hours. And they reversed their hearts by 20 years. Turned 50-year-old hearts into 30-year-old hearts. That's insane. But here is the catch. This only works if you start in late middle age. If they had started after 65, their heart would have been too stiff to remodel. So if you are sitting there thinking, I'll get healthy when I'm older, you are making a massive mistake. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Exercise is the single most potent stimulus for our brain health, but not all exercise is created equal. The SMART trial took people with mild cognitive impairment, that's pre-dementia, and gave them 2 to 3 sessions of resistance training per week. Not aerobic, resistance training. And they not only preserved their cognitive functions, they enhanced their processing speed and slowed gray matter loss. But here is what actually shocked me. You have to lift at 80% of your 1 rep max for the neural effect. That's heavy, like actual heavy. Because when you lift heavy, your muscles release chemicals called myokines. These are the messengers that go straight to your brain and do incredible things. They release BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which grows new neurons in your hippocampus. That's your memory center, the first thing to go in Alzheimer's. And there was this beautiful twin study, identical twins, same genetics. They tracked them for 10 years. The twin who had stronger legs, specifically leg power, had a bigger brain, larger gray matter volume, better cognitive function. If Dr. Nicola had to pick one exercise for the rest of her life to protect her brain, deadlift, because it uses almost every muscle in your body when done correctly. Then there was something that actually hit it for me, because there is this new category called active sedentary. That's people who exercise for 30 to 60 minutes, but then sit for 10 plus hours a day. Yeah, that's me. And that's probably you too if you work at a desk. And a 2025 study found that if you sit for more than 10 hours a day, your cardiovascular diseases risk increases even if you meet your weekly exercise goals. Because prolonged sitting shuts down an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase that's essential for burning fat and clearing glucose. But there's a stupidly simple solution. 10 air squats every hour. That's it. A study showed that if you do 10 air squats every hour, you can compensate for your sedentary lifestyle. It brings your glucose spike back to baseline. I'm literally setting an alarm on my phone after hearing this. Now, let's talk about cardio, because there's been this huge debate about zone 2 training. And Dr. Nicola had a controversial take. Women don't get the same return on investment from zone 2 as men do. She's pushing women towards zone 5, that's 90 to 95% of your maximum heart rate. The infamous Norwegian 4x4, 4 minutes on, 4 off, repeat 4 times. Why? Because at that intensity, you are not just getting blood to the brain. You are releasing massive amount of myokines, you are remodeling your heart, and you are downregulating tumor cells growth. You are doing so much more than just steady state cardio. And she does this twice a week on a stepper at the gym, level 14, 4 rounds. That Lavine study I mentioned earlier, that's what they did. High intensity at 90% max heart rate, plus some longer moderate sessions, plus one resistant training session. 4 hours total per week. 20-year heart reversal. Okay, this next part genuinely changed my life. Creatine. I knew creatine was for muscle building, but I didn't know that it's the most powerful brain supplement on the planet. I knew that creatine was for muscle building, and I also have some knowledge that it's good for your brain, but how? There was a pilot study on Alzheimer's patients, people whose brains are literally under attack, can't remember left from right. They put them on 20 grams of creatine per day, not 5 grams, 20. These patients not only preserved their cognitive functions, they had more energy and were able to exercise more. In Alzheimer's patients, Dr. Nicola has her own 70-year-old parents on high doses of creatine, and here is why. Most people take 5 grams per day, which saturates muscles, but there is none left for the brain. You need 20 grams per day for brain benefits. You can split it for 5-gram doses throughout the day if 20 in one take is too much for you. And research shows that it protects your brain against concussions, strokes, and stress. It works in background of stress. If you are sleep deprived, you can take 15 to 20 grams and reverse the negative effect. There is even 2025 study with 25,000 adults showing that for every standard deviation increase in dietary creatine, cancer risk decreases by 5 to 18%. The anti-cancer effects were strongest in people over 50. No risk, all reward. She said, I don't care who you are, you should definitely be having creatine. Okay, if she said so, I'll try it. 20 grams, let's go! Now here's the part that made Dr. Nicola emotional. 70% of Alzheimer's cases are women, and it's not because women live longer, that's a myth. Being a woman is literally a risk factor. During perimenopause, there is a 30% reduction in brain glucose metabolism. The brain can't use glucose effectively anymore, so it starts breaking down to myelin sheath to create ketones as an alternative fuel source. The brain is in an energy crisis. 60 to 65% of women in menopause have not flashes and night sweats. This fragments their sleep, and sleep is when the lymphatic system activates. It's like a washing machine that clears out amyloid beta. If you are not getting into deep sleep, amyloid accumulates. Dr. Nicola's solution: ketogenic diet during perimenopause and menopause. Give the brain the ketones it needs. And hormone replacement therapy. She's going on it when the time comes. Because estrogen is anabolic to muscle and bone, it helps with sleep by stopping hot flashes, and studies shown it can reduce Alzheimer's risks by 30%. But women drop from 40% on HRT to just 4% after one scare study about breast cancer. And Dr. Nicholas said women have been lied to. They've been underrepresented in research. They downplay their symptoms, or they are too scared to ask for help. She told a story about her grandmother Louisa, who she's named after. She died of pancreatic cancer because she never asked for help, never went to the doctor when she should have. And in the hospital at the end, she said, "Please, is there something I can do? I don't want to die." And the doctor said, "I'm sorry, there is nothing you can do." That's why Dr. Nicola does this work. That's why she's so passionate about it, because women deserve better. And here is the last thing I would love to remember from that. There is this area in your brain called anterior mid-cingulate cortex. The AMCC, scientists call it seat of the will to live. It's larger in superagents, people who age incredibly well. It's bigger in athletes. It's smaller in people with obesity. And here is the incredible part. It grows when you do hard things, when you push yourself, when you embrace discomfort. If you love ice baths and you take one, your AMCC doesn't change. If you hate the cold but forces yourself anyway, the AMCC grows. Theodore Roosevelt lost his mother and wife on the same day, Valentine's Day. Both died in the same house. He went to the Badlands for 2 years, woke up at 4 a.m. in freezing conditions. Horses literally died standing still. He did this to deal with grief. When he came back to New York, his friends said he was a completely different man. He went on to become the youngest US president ever, got shot during speech and kept going, led charges in wars, won the Nobel Prize. They point to those 2 years in Badlands and say he didn't just build his muscles. He refined his AMCC. He literally changed his brain. So here is what I am doing. Starting 20 grams of creatine today. Yeah, that's possible. Setting my early alarm for air squats. And I'll try Norwegian's 4x4 at least once a week. And definitely doing hard things, not every day, but every time I have to face them to grow my AMCC. Because Alzheimer's starts in your 30s and the window is now, and 95% of it's preventable. So what are you going to do? Peace.